Hello, and thank you so much for taking the time out to listen. Today, we are talking about Too Much, Too Soon Internet Dating Blues. This is a book that I created some time back. And this book is for those individuals who simply have their doubts about online dating. And when I say doubts, I'm talking about you've already met an individual or individuals, and it seems like everybody is moving way too fast. Okay. They tend to suffocate you. They tend to say some off-putting things. You want to distance yourself maybe from one person or many people online. There are those things that we need to be mindful of when we are meeting new people. Okay. I do get into this sort of thing, the signs, the red flags, when it comes to dating online as well as dating offline. And you are welcome to listen to those audios as well as videos. I do want to read an excerpt out of this book, and this is about the online date, questioning whether or not this person is really being open and honest. Oftentimes there are those other things that are going on in people's lives offline, and they do not share what is happening with their online dates. The reason for it is simply because dating in and of itself is one of those things that creates a fantasy. It's an illusion. It makes you feel like a person is perfect and right for you and we're a match made in heaven, when in fact that is really not the case. Oftentimes there is a lot of negativity with people that they're hiding. And what you find out later on is that you've just got to be the one that's willing to put up with the good, the bad, and the otherwise with people. And if you know that you're short on patience and time and energy and money, and you're just not that type of person that wants to handhold, then you really shouldn't be dating, to be quite honest. Because there are those individuals that are going to be high maintenance at some point or in some area. And if you do not have the mental capacity to deal with what these people are going through, then once again, you should not be out here giving people this illusion that you are the perfect match made in heaven. So let us just be real. Let's keep it real. Let's be honest. And you need to put together a list of all the things that you're willing to tolerate concerning an online date. For instance, you can tolerate a person being impatient every now and again. You can tolerate a person being dishonest every now and again. You can tolerate a person having their share of illness. Maybe they do have an incurable sexual disease that they're going to one day reveal to you. They may have some type of mean-spirited anger that shows up during their time of the month. You're going to have to tolerate the fact that they have debt and they may not have paid all their debt and might hope for you to help them if you should get into a serious relationship. You may have to deal with the fact that they want children and maybe you don't. Well, you definitely don't want to be with a person that wants a family, because guess what they're going to do? They're going to convince you that having a family is a good thing. There are those individuals that have a long history of childhood abuse. And if you are not one for listening to stories about people's traumas and dramas, you may not want to continue to date a person. You see, these are the lists that you really should be coming up with, as opposed to the list of everything that you want out of someone. Okay? Good luck. Blessings to you on that one. Because what I found when I was dating back in the day was I found a whole lot of, can you please put up with this? And less of what I wanted in a partner. Okay? So I'm just saying, is your online date really being open and honest with you? I found out another thing when it comes especially to dating men. Do you have the time on your hands to put up with or deal with a man who loves his sports? A man who doesn't really want to take you out to all those lovely little places that you like, such as the museum. A man that doesn't want to put you on a plane and spend some time with you going somewhere other than being in the same town. Do you feel okay and all right with the fact that a man may spend more time sitting than standing, than exercising? Are you okay with a man that has many female friends or many male friends, and you may not agree with those people's lifestyle? You see, I'm just throwing some stuff out there because I don't think some people really took the time to think about what they're getting themselves into when they start dating, especially when God is not in the plan. So, since you've already opened up that can of worms, let's keep on opening them up. Is my online date really being open and honest with me? This is on page 67, chapter 5, Communication Heaven. I titled it in my book, Too Much Too Soon, Internet Dating Blues, by NichollMcGuire, spelled Nicholl, McGuire, McGuire. Chatting almost every day on the net or over a phone line, a couple is enjoying one another immensely. They anticipate the next date and the next. All seems perfectly well, almost too perfect. Potential lovers make excellent first impressions while hoping for the best. In the back of their minds, they are thinking, could this be my lifelong partner? I could see myself settling down with this one. Conversations that start off quite basic and informative begin to take a different turn. The more the internet pair communicates with one another, as well as family and friends about their new connections. The closer a date gets to discovering things about his potential wife or husband, the likelihood he or she is going to find out something about his or her online companion that is going to bust the inflated bubble inside one's head and forcibly slow things down a bit. Maybe the idea of marriage or moving in together is a bit much at this stage. One wonders. You are absolutely right. Personal questions are in-depth at times and not so easy to answer when someone still views you as a stranger. And I really don't know you that well to be telling you these things about myself. So what do some singles do? Rush the process of getting to know someone because no one likes to be viewed as a stranger by someone you really like. If a date is feeling like he or she just doesn't know a person, then why have sex or continue to do so with someone who is obviously guarded about subject matter that might be quite important to you? Would you continue to sleep with someone who refuses to disclose to you what a sudden bump on one's genitalia is? Or drive this person to the home of a mysterious friend who is the opposite sex while never asking, how is this person related to you? Of course you wouldn't. You would want to know. People will not hesitate to distort the truth if they really want to mate with those they really find unique, attractive, and beneficial. Now, I'm going to add all the while knowing they have their own weaknesses, their own shortcomings. Let me rush the relationship on before you find me out. Let me rush the relationship so that you don't know my family, at least not right now, because you might connect the dots that we got a whole line of some foolishness in the family. There's some generational curses, at least for those who are discerning and are Christians, you can pick up on. So they rush and they get entangled with people. You might be one of them, or that person who's trying to rush you into being with them. God doesn't want you rushing. I got to keep telling somebody. God doesn't want you rushing. God doesn't want you rushing. It doesn't matter how beautiful and sweet and nice and how good she looks or what she keeps telling you. There's something that's too good to be true. You got it. Everybody starts off being too good to be true, don't they? And then you sit down for a while and you say, I knew there was something about Nicholl I don't like. I'm just using myself as an example. You see? I knew that there was something where we were going to bump heads. I knew that she's just a little bit too, shall I say, boring. Or she's just a little bit too outspoken. Or she got a way of acting like somebody that I know, and I know we're not going to get along. You see? When you pick up on some things that you don't particularly like about a person, and yet you want to be in a solid connection, partnership, relationship, be in a bed with, you better know what you can tolerate. Can I tolerate the fact that she's so outspoken at times? Can I tolerate the fact that we're not going to see eye to eye on these issues? Am I going to be able to hold this person and care for this person? Or is she going to be the kind of person that pushes me away because she's still going through her share of issues? And I'm the kind of person that's very affectionate. You see, these sorts of things people hide, you see, when they first start dating. I remember there's an individual that I got to see his relationship up close and personal, and I said, it's not going to last. And some people were saying, what makes you think? And I said, because I know him and I know how he is about some things. And that particular ethnicity, he don't get along with, because deep down inside, he hates on them. But he going to hide it because he's going back in time when it comes to people who he, got along with back in the day. But he's a different man now. And he don't have the patience for that particular ethnicity. I'm telling you. And sure enough, as time went on, it showed up and showed out. You see, some people, they think that if I just try this particular ethnicity out, it's just a curiosity factor. But have you ever dated that ethnicity? Well, back when I was in school. Okay. But you've been through a lot. You've been through a lot, and you say some kind of messed up stuff. But I'll be fine, Okay. Well, when you're that opposite ethnicity and somebody don't necessarily like those other people, they like you, but they don't like those other people. And they tend to say some things in conversation where you say, somebody a little bit on the bias side. And you know that you love your people. You love your people a lot. You will bump heads. That's why I don't recommend interracial dating if you are that type of person that you just love your ethnicity, like it's power to the people all day, every day, and you don't mind putting that other ethnicity down. Now, that's wrong. Because what if you have babies? And they hear you saying things like, I can't stand those people. And you can plug in whatever ethnicity you want. Now you got generational things that you're messing around with. And God is listening. God's watching. I know sometimes some people get real mad and they want to throw a shoe at the television because they see, once again, some people are saying some real foul, disrespectful things, but yet you want to date that ethnicity. And you want that ethnicity to show up at your house, or you want to go over to that ethnicity's house, and you're going to deal with your share of issues. But if love conquers all, so be it. But people get tired of folks talking about people who don't look like them. You see, it all depends on how you were raised and what your influences were. And if you were that type that was embracing of all, and you're going to get tired of that prideful, prejudiced person sitting up there always talking about that ethnicity. And that's going to be a deal breaker for some of you all. I'm speaking somebody's truth if it wasn't already. You got tired of folks talking all that prejudice and racist talk. And this is why for some individuals there are the interracial relationships, because there's a bit of empathy, sympathy. You know what? I got tired of hearing about what I shouldn't do and who I shouldn't date and, those people. And, well, let me get to know those people for myself. Well, if you bring them this way, okay, that's fine. Because I don't have to deal with you. Because it's not like you got a lot of people around you that love you and like you. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. When you see that there are those people, even in your own family, who they just don't seem to get along with the opposite ethnicity or many ethnicities, that's because they don't show themselves friendly, as the scripture says. And who wants to be around people who I can pick up on your negative energy? I know you don't like my particular skin tone. I know you don't like my ethnicity. I know that you got issues with women. You see, I know that you got issues with Christian, African American women. I know that you got issues with Christian, African American, Black women. Right? Some of you could throw in yours. He got issues with Christian white women who live in the suburbs. Or, she got issue with men who are dark skinned who live in the city. You see? But yet, why is it that she wants to gravitate over in these areas? Is it because she has a sudden awakening, or because she heard through the grapevine certain things? Or is she just looking for somebody who's compatible? Okay, fine. But then the conversation is off-putting, and she's talking about, well, I'm not talking about you, but I'm talking about those guys over there. Okay, you got a problem. I'm not talking about your family, because your family, oh my gosh, your family is so nice. But I do have a track record of dealing with those people over there. And I used to be married to one. Uh-oh. Don't you hear it? Okay, maybe some of you all don't hear it. I hear it. I mean, just in the examples. I hear it and I don't like it. And I say, okay, well, you know what? This person's not going to make for a good friend. You see. Some of you all, you're dating. And I'm just giving you, once again, red flag warning signs when it comes to this sort of thing. You're rushing things, and you're not paying attention to the fine detail. And God is warning you. So back up, slow down. Let's talk about the controversial issues, right? Let's talk about politics. Let's talk about racism. Let's talk about social class. Let's talk about what she grew up with or what he grew up with. And when they start that hemming and hawing and, they're talking like a politician, you already know they're hiding something. They're not being completely honest. And God wants some of you all to just be the type of people that are more discerning. And I know that you're wrapped up in your feelings sometimes, but put those feelings aside and just listen. And then you start writing down notes. Get your journal out. Start writing down notes that you've learned from this person concerning who they are, who they've been exposed to, what they want out of life, what they don't want out of life, who they tend to get along with, what kind of friends they have, what their background is. And don't just go with what they're telling you, but write down some of those stories they told you and break down those stories, those experiences. And I'm telling you, before long, there's going to be a process of elimination when it comes to some of those online dates. Well, I thank you as always for taking time out of your busy schedule to listen. Please do get the book, Too Much, Too Soon, Internet Dating Blues by NichollMcGuire. I thank you as always for supporting this channel. Please do check the description box for anything of interest. And if you feel so moved to give, please do. Blessings to you.